Hi everyone, thanks for joining me again. Athena's here, Buddy's over there. George is also in the room. So today, George has asked me to look at his Gayusa because it's not looking very happy. Its newest leaf looks like it's yellowing off before it's even come out of cataphyll, and I want to pot my Glorious up because this is a crawling plant. So whereas most of my other ones are climbing, this one crawls along the floor, the forest floor. So I'm going to put this in leca and in a long trough. So I have a long trough planter here, and I've got 10 litres of leca, so fingers crossed that'll do it. I have let this dry out just so it's really easy for me to get it out. But yeah, let's get into it. So first and foremost, what I'm going to do is take it out of the soil. Now, what I am going to fully expect is that this is going to go downhill because it's then going to get used to having water roots as opposed to soil roots, which is fine. It was a gift, and I had it in a pot and it grew some leaves. Some were happy, some weren't. It's got a bit of variegation, which is quite nice. I don't know if you can see from it, obviously there's a spot of damage there, but it's got variegation on some of the leaves. But I thought, well, while it's not its best anyway, let's give it a shot. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It's not a big deal. So yeah, grab yourself a brew, grab yourself some planty things to do, and let's do this together. So when going from soil to water roots, what you really want to do is get rid of any organic matter whatsoever that you can off the roots, because when you come out of soil and you go into water or pond or leca, any organic matter is going to want to cause mould and rot, and that'll damage your roots and promote obviously root rot, which will then inevitably lead to the downfall of your plant. So what I'm going to do is just get as much of the soil off, and then I'll go and get a bucket of water and just wash the roots off a little bit. You don't have to get everything off, but the more you get off, the better. I always prefer to use warm water, just slightly warm, just so it doesn't shock the roots too much. But the roots on this are great. So yeah, let me go and duck and dive with this, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back, and freshly washed roots. There's still a little bit of colouring on there, there's still a little bit of soil. It's not a big deal. It'll sort itself out, it's completely fine. I have just taken a bottom leaf off here, so I'll be mindful of that when I'm planting it up, because this will need to callus over. But yeah, those are the roots. So pop that down there. I have got some leca in here already, pre-washed. The next lot isn't washed yet, but it will be. Now, as I said, this is a crawler, so this is its newest leaf coming. It'll continue to grow this way. It won't grow any other way, it'll grow that way. So I want to butt this up this side so that it'll grow this way, and it's got plenty of time to then grow. Try not to make this too noisy for me, but I do apologise. everywhere. Oh, it's slipping. Oh, it's all going to go wrong. It's all going to go Pete Tong. So that's what you need to do with leca. What I will do is, this comes apart, I'll show you. So this is essentially your planting tray, and this is your water reservoir. And you've got a little dipstick here which tells you how much water is in it and if you need to fill up. So what I'll do, what you should normally do is soak your leca first, give it a really good rinse through, get as much dust off as possible. So obviously that's going to clog up the roots. So I'm going to pop this outside, I'll water it through with some warm water again. It's not hot whatsoever because you don't want to kill your plant. But as you can see now, it's in the leca. The rhizome, which is the stem of the plant, is actually touching the leca, and it'll get more and more roots as it grows. So that'll be brilliant. That'll be fine for quite some time because obviously the newest leaf's only here and you've got all that space for it to grow. So fingers crossed, I will keep you updated with that one. I've been meaning to do that for ages, so what a perfect time to do it. So now we've got, hi Coco, now we've got Georgie's Gayusa to look at. This was only watered the other day, so could be a messy one. So this is Gayusa, so it's got lovely long strappy leaves, really long petioles. It's Pallidiflorum Gayusa, but as you can see this new leaf isn't looking too happy, it's actually browning on the end. So that's why George wants me to have a look at it. So we'll take it out of its pot, check its root system, which doesn't look too bad looking at the pot, but it might just need an upgrade, it might need a bigger pot, which is the problem because we don't have a lot more catch pots. But let's have a look. So I like to squeeze the pots first just because your roots tend to stick to it and it just gives you a little bit more play with it. There's a couple of dead roots on top, but there's loads of healthy roots in there as well. It is one that's kept on the shelf above the telly, so it does get forgotten about a little bit with regards to watering. So it does dry out quite a lot and then gets well watered and then dries out. So it's not the best thing for the plant.
I won't say a word, just let you breathe. I won't make a sound, I won't slow you down. I knew we were on borrowed time, just a passing street.
I want to put my snips.
Nothing you would keep. I fell in too deep. And as far as at least how I remember, we were leaving in September, when red and gold paint the sky. And as far as though maybe I pretended, oh, I wish it never ended. I held on with all my might, still waiting on that last goodbye. See you standing by the door,
Roots on this go quite woody as they get older.
watching the leaves as they fall once more. And the silence
Really woody.
made.
So they're quite thick, some of them.
Couldn't find the
But then you've got
words to
really
say.
nice brand new white ones.
In my mind, oh, I wished you'd stay. Oh, I wished you'd stay. And as far as at least how I remember, we were leaving in September, when red and gold paint the sky. And as far as though maybe I pretended, oh, I wish it never ended. I held on with all my might, still waiting on the last goodbye. Last goodbye. Last goodbye. Last goodbye.
Yeah, we've got some dead roots in here, guys. That's what I'm snapping.
And as far as at least how I remember, we were leaving in September.
We've got plenty of good roots, so we should bounce back easy enough.
And as far as though maybe I pretended, oh, I wish it never ended. I held on with all my might, still waiting on the last goodbye.
So I don't think it actually needs a pot up, I just think it needed a little bit of a TLC, I guess. Don't we all? And on the plus side, I don't actually think, we don't do this by the way, I'm just going to do it. The new leaf isn't actually yellowing, it's just the caterpillar. But I'm going to take the caterpillar off because I don't want it to have dried out and then stop the leaf from failing. Yeah, the new leaf's fine. So that's good news. I'm not going to use that because it's got quite a few dead roots in. However, this one doesn't. It has literally no dead roots whatsoever in. I was looking as I was going through it. This is from the philodendron, but it was in a junkyard road mix anyway, so we'll use some of that. We'll use some fresh, and we'll get it potted back into a little pot. Do I put her in a bigger pot? This is one of those ones with the bumps in the bottom, you know, the orchid pots. I think we will give her a new pot. We'll treat her because she's just been through a traumatic experience. I was going to show you some more stuff out of the cabinet, but she ain't happy about moving, so we're not. Okay? Blame her. She's comfy, she's happy, and I don't want to disturb her, basically. I didn't even ask her to move. Again, give it a good tap to get rid of all your air bubbles, your pockets rather. This is a much less dense soil mix, so we'll have to keep on top of water in this one. Let's take that sticker off because that'll just confuse things, as you know. Put its label back in, Pallidiflorum gayusa, and that needs watering through. Bigger pot. Let's see if it fits in its original pot. I know it's a square pot going into a round pot, but it fits. It'll go back up there. It'll be fine. Yeah, that's that one. I've just seen George pull something down, so should we have a look at that? So this is my Vitarifolium variegated. It's not been happy for a little while, so I did say I was going to try it in soil. Roots are fine, look at the roots on it. So, she's not that miffed. Oh, maybe she is, I don't know. There's a few spindly ones, but they just like really small roots. I'll take some of these old leafy bits off because they do nothing for the plant anyway. And these aren't really doing anything for the plant either at the moment, so that's its newest one. but it's still nice and stiff at the bottom. It's not smushy or anything like that, so I can tell, I don't know if you'll be able to pick this up, here there's a little chunk, so this is obviously a cutting from another plant. So that's there. It looks like there's a new leaf forming, which is positive, so let's give it the best chance it's got. I don't know whether to leave it in moss, because like some of these roots are really long and really happy. That one isn't. I'm going to leave it in moss. I have got the baby one. I just don't want to shock it any more than it's already obviously been shocked. So we'll bury it maybe a little bit deeper. No, whether to put it in higher light. Maybe that's the issue, because obviously it is variegated. The white does nothing for the plant. We look for it, we go, oh, it's pretty, but it actually doesn't produce anything for the plant. So it still looks fed up, but it's got less dead roots. Let's give it a wee water. Then, reservoir, moss. If you're using this method, just don't overdo it. Let it get down to the base before you add loads more. But yeah, so what I need to do is go and wash through that lacquer. So lacquer's just, they're little clay balls. They're really light. It's actually lighter than soil, way lighter than pond. So I'll rinse that through on the front step, and then we'll fill that up. As I said, these are brilliant. So the water comes in here and it pushes up the little red line, the little red marker, and it's got a minimum and maximum, and it tells you when it needs watering. So they're really handy. So I'll fill that up. That's going to live in the front window, because it's been doing all right in the front window. It used to be behind me here. I water the geyser through, and that can go back up there. I might actually have a look at my bakery while you're here. My little one. So you've seen my big one here. I also have a smaller one. Thank you. I think it's okay, but I just thought, may as well have a look. Yeah, it's fine. Its roots are fine. It's got good roots. Happy. They're only small. What I might do is remove that leaf. It's completely fine, but I'll remove it. And that leaf, because they're small anyway, and then I can plant it deeper. It's got a new leaf coming here. I don't know if you can see, but it's got a new leaf coming. So if we plant it a little bit deeper, it allows some of these aerial roots points here to actually anchor in, because obviously that's a really spindly little system for such a long-leafed plant. So So there's no need to put that one up whatsoever because it's still got plenty of room to grow. I actually filled about this much up with soil before I put the plant in, and obviously I've buried it deeper. That new leaf there is just sticking out of the soil. So I'll walk that through because obviously you saw that was quite dry. Again, lives above the telly. But yeah, I'll walk that through and we'll get that back, and fingers crossed. I mean, it's completely fine. The leaves are a little bit curled, but that's because it's thirsty, so. But yeah, so thanks so much for joining us again. Come back next week. I will be on my holidays, but I will have recorded a video for you already. So as we said, we're going to Scotland. Ow. Foot's dead. Love that for me. Oh no, don't feel that anymore. So yeah, we'll be in Scotland, but I will record a video for you and have that ready to upload. But yeah, thanks so much for joining us. Please come back next week. Please like, subscribe, share, all them good things, and spread the word. Thank you very much. Bye.